Good morning, afternoon, evening, gamers. So I'm back with another video. So now this is, of course, one of my favourite games. We'll jump right into it. Um, so this is Minecraft. Minecraft. That's another video I'm looking to work on. It's going to be another castle. Spoiler alert. It's always going to be castles with Minecraft. No, this is Skyrim. Now this is a a modded one. I did not mean to do that, but yeah. So this mod list is called Licentia Black. It's a not safe for work version, so I'm gonna have to be particularly careful. You know, try to be careful, which I do always try to, because I'm not trying to push these things on people, but at the same time I feel that it's sad that games don't get any love just because they have adult content. I mean, if we just had oh, sorry, Ori. I was just looking for my arrow. I mean, I think I'm good for arrows. I don't. Uh, I've got 59 arrows. I don't know why I'm looking for one, but yeah, have a look at what modding looks like when it's done well, because I have broken Skyrim and Fallout 4 so many times. Genesa's like stuck a bit. You do tend to get a lot of that. I'm not sure it can be helped, but just look how good everything looks. Now it is going to be a little bit stuttery, and that's nothing. That's nothing to do with the mod list or the mod author. It's running on a mechanical hard drive, which is not ideal, but I've only got so much NVMe space, which is currently holding the Depravity of the Wasteland Fallout 4 mod list from I Am Me. This one is, I think the name is Licentia Black. Now I don't know if that's the name of the the modded game, or I can't remember the name of the actual mod author, which sounds terrible, I know, but I downloaded a few. I Am Me's Fallout 4. He had a VR Skyrim, and I absolutely loved it, and I installed it. I installed it like a couple of times. I really wanted to be able to play it, but my hardware just, it couldn't handle it. I've got a 3070, but the 3070 only has 8 gigabytes of RAM, which sounds like a lot, but then the 1080, which I replaced this card with, also had 8 gigs of RAM. And and VR is very difficult to run anyway. So yeah, it wasn't able to cope. I would have needed a much more powerful card. And with the pricing of the 40 series cards, and this is just me, that this is not, I'm not telling anybody else what they should or they shouldn't do, but for me, I'm not going to be buying a 40 series card. The 3070, which was tough to get, and I had to sacrifice a few things to get it, but that will do me for a while, even though there may be some things that I can't play into going into the future. I don't know that the 30 series cards are going to last as long as the GTX 10 series cards. I don't know that it's going to happen, because games are getting more complex. I saw a video for the Unreal Engine 5.2, and there's just some phenomenal work that they're doing in, you know, to make video games just look even more incredible than they do now. But yeah, so this is just, I mean, if you were looking at this, okay, Sophia, personal space, sweetheart. I don't know why she gets so close. I mean, that would sometimes be a good thing, but not always. But yeah, like, if you were looking at this and you didn't know that this was, you know, a fairly old game, or what it looks like, you know, normally, you would just be like, wow, this is an incredible looking game. You know, Licentia Black has done, you know, a phenomenal job, as do all the mod authors who make these games. And this is what a game can look like when it's done properly, which I cannot do. I've tried so many times. I mean, oh, look at the wolf. Well, okay. Cool. I mean, look at that water. Look how beautiful that water looks. I'm going to see if I... Oh, look at the deer just having a little swim. No, it's alright. I'm not coming after you, Mr. Deer. Oh, I can get my arrow back. I'm obsessed with getting my arrows back. It's because they're pricey, that's why. They're expensive. I mean, look at these rocks. Don't they look good? Alright. Oh, it's Ori this time. I do have a lot of followers. I kind of like followers because, yeah, whilst you can do these, you know, run through these games by yourself. I like having companions. You know, it should be up to you what you want to do. Woo! That was Sophie. That was cool. That roly poly. But yeah, look how good the game looks. Well, let's go and do a bit of exploring. The only downside I would say with somebody else's mod list is the mod list is designed for how they think something should be played, or how they play. So they put lots of difficulty modifiers into the game to make the game harder, which, yeah, I don't know. I mean, I don't think the point of this game was supposed to be that, but slaughter fish because they suck. Where's the other one? Wow, I am hitting my shots. That is incredible. Usually I can't hit the side of a barn. Wow, and that one was even quite far away, so I am... I felt that one was a bit high, but okay. Sunken barrow discovered. Oh! Wow. Oh, now I miss. See how many slaughterfish are in this area. Normally, you wouldn't get that many slaughterfish.
Speak louder than words, so I'll let my weapons do the talking.
Yeah, okay, Sophie. You do a lot of talking. Which isn't all bad, but not all good either. Look how big that one is compared to that. Okay. Maybe there's like young and older ones. But yeah, so they've added in like difficulty modifiers, which sounds like a good idea, but if you're not very good at balancing stuff, oh, I don't think you can fire underwater. Also, where did all the other bodies go?
Watch out for the bite.
Oh, they floated downstream. Okay. But yeah, look how beautiful this water looks.
What makes you think you're any different to the hundreds of others like you I have killed?
What are you going on about, Sophie? I mean, it's a level 1 slaughterfish. It's not really doing that much harm. I mean, really? Look at all the bodies just floating downstream. It's like, okay.
I'll eat your heart.
Okay. That's terrifying. Yeah, so I mean, it's always going to be a difficult balance, I suppose. I play games for entertainment. I don't play them because I want some sort of challenge. That's never been a goal for me. However, other people really do. You know that they like that challenge, which is fair enough. I guess it's difficult from the mod author's perspective. I would rather it was something that I had more of a choice in. When I started the game, the difficulty level was on like legendary, so you're level 1, and you're fighting like everything that's legendary. And as most people know, or a lot of people know, like the balancing on legendary leaves. It leaves a fair amount to be, desired. It's not that great. What is this? Ooh, treasure chest. Okay. A hook sword. Damage 24. Oh, it's for the museum. Okay. Well, you found a unique hook sword. Okay. That's cool, I guess. Alright, Sophie, what are you doing? I think some of that is because it's running on a hard drive. Having said that, our Ori's proficiency in archery has grown. Well, that's good. But yeah, look at all the armors and that. Like how good the armors look. I'm playing as a high elf. As people might know, I kind of like elves. And I used to play like a Nord, like just straight off the bat. It's like, okay, I'm going to be a Nord. So I'm sort of branching out sort of lately. But look at the shine on his headgear. The armor just looks absolutely fantastic. And the game looks so nice, doesn't it? I mean, look at the rocks and that. For how old this game is, it looks like a more modern game, which is fantastic. You've got the standing stones. The standing stones have been fiddled with as well, which again I don't. I don't know that I love it, because I have a certain pattern when I play the game, so I'm like, right, okay, I'm going to take that first just to tide me over, and then I'm going to go to Markarth, and then I'm going to get the Lover's Stone. And then I went to Markarth, and I got to the Lover's Stone. It didn't do what it used to do, unless I was misreading what it said. I can't actually remember what it said, but I think that they've been fiddled with. I mean, wow, there are so many followers. I found her in a cave, Zora Fairchild. I feel like I should know who that is. I think it's a character in Solstein, maybe? I can't remember. But yeah, so the Warrior Stone, I can't remember, though, what the Warrior Stone used to do. I think it used to up all your combat skills. So this one, those under the sign of the mage have more magicka and spend less magicka when casting spells. But I thought that when using magicka, it helped you level up magicka faster. Maybe I'm wrong. And then the thief one, those under the sign of the thief have more stamina, move faster, and take less damage from falling. Which I mean does sound good, but you know, so you can only have like one ability at a time, which was fine. But the Lover's Stone used to give you a 15% experience gain for everything. So mage, warrior, and thief attributes. Whereas now I think it does something else. So I've just stuck with the warrior one for now. So yeah. That heart made me worried, because obviously this is a not safe for work version. But there are just normal mod lists as well. Like you don't have to go with these. There's plenty of choice. The range of games, a lot of them are mostly Skyrim and Fallout 4. There are a few. There are some other games, but maybe not as many games. Like if you play something obscure or something that is not really like the developers don't really embrace modding, then you're probably not going to find that game. So. Which is, I think, fairly self-explanatory. But yeah, look how beautiful that this looks. I just think it looks absolutely phenomenal. Oh, Wolfie. Oh, right in the posterior. Which is highly unfortunate. What? Why did you kill the sheep or goat or whatever it was? Like they do some questionable things. Like I was playing Fallout yesterday, and I just went to talk to one of the farm settlements, and then literally my companion just killed the farmer and just started a whole fight, and I'm like, why? Like I don't understand why. Stop staring at me, Sophie, you creepy girl. Sophie is she's a great follower though. She always has something to say. It does start to get a little bit tedious after a while, but I mean, you know, what can you do? I think Inigo's in this game as well, so later on when I find him, I think he's gonna have some great things to say. I don't know if he can interact with Sophie as well. Like some of these you know, unique followers can kind of interact with each other. That looked like a... It wasn't. Oh, this version of Lydia, aesthetically, I don't know. It's the faces are maybe not for me. What's going on? Oh, spider.
Are you
Oof.
alright? You never did tell me about your parents. I mean, you were Dragonborn. So, do you have ancestors that are dragons?
No, I don't have ancestors that are dragons.
If you did.
Okay, where did the spider go? Hello, spider. I have a problem with bodies just like disappearing. Oh, I see. Yeah, because of the arrow turned to dust. Fair enough. But then some bodies don't. But then because the the undergrowth is, you know, is quite high, you tend to just lose bodies, and then sometimes bodies will just disappear for some reason, like they'll go under the ground or something. So yeah, so yeah, so you saw that like kind of stutter. It's not ideal, but that is mostly because it's running on a mechanical hard drive. But I just don't have the funds at the moment. See, the thing is, the 4 terabyte drive that is running on was £80 for 4 terabytes. You could maybe get a 1 terabyte SSD for that, maybe. But two terabytes and onwards, you're gonna struggle. For a 4 terabyte drive, or you know, SSD, or like an NVMe, you're talking quite a few £100, you know, and that's just not really something I'm able to do at the moment. But I will, you know, I do think that, you know, the prices at some point will come down. SSD and sort of NVMe technology, it is still fairly new, whereas hard drives have been around for, you know, for such a long time. And the prices are definitely better than they were. I mean, at one time, a 1 terabyte SSD would you know, was absolutely unbelievably priced. So yeah, will be. Eventually, I would like to, you know, just do away with mechanical hard drives altogether and just go to, you know, go over to, you know, SSDs and NVMe's. But you know, I think that's still a way off. But so let's have a look at Riverwood. I just think the water just looks incredible.
I'm not sure if it's because they find me attractive or because they think I'm a little odd. Or both.
Probably both. I don't know what these are. I think they're like followers, but that's not really my thing. I think in down in Whiterun there's a cat shop where you can buy like cats and stuff. Again, I don't know if it's something that interests me, but again, as a mod author, you know, either they're creating the game that they would want to play, which is a bit odd as everybody's different and everybody likes something different, or they're just trying to create a mod list with something for everybody, which, you know, that's fair enough. Look, here comes a kitty here. See, they added in cats, but you can't stroke them, which, I mean, that just if you can't stroke the cats and the dogs and, yeah, the animals, then what's the point? Why are they here? The one thing I do say is with Hogwarts is I was able to go around stroking all the cats. I'm talking about felines, okay? Look at these fat chickens as well. I think the mod is actually called like Big Fatter Chickens or something. It's glorious. But yeah, it also has some wonderful music to it. I've had to turn it off because, you know, I don't really feel like when you're playing something like Skyrim that's super immersive that music kind of works. I mean, sometimes it does, but you know, you don't tend to walk around outside. Like, I'm gonna go to the park today and there's just like ambient music, like. But it is some really, really good music. But I also turned it off because it, you know, it might be copyrighted, and then I'm in trouble for that, and it's like, when making videos, there's so much you have to be concerned about because there's always somebody coming for you. It's not even necessarily YouTube's fault, but you know, it's, you know, somebody's going to complain to them, and then it's like, oh, okay, well, you know, now we have to do something. So, yeah. So let's just have a wander along. So I think currently I don't know what level I am. I never know. So, coming up for, like, level 20, which is still not a lot in this game, because there are just creatures in this game and, like, NPCs that will just one-shot you. Which is why I have so many NPCs.
I'm confused. I drink milk, but I'm also tough. And drink
I
as much
don't know
meat
what
as
happened
the
to
other
this
ones.
dude.
So what does that
Like, I
mean?
don't know why he looks that way. I don't know if it's like an undead deer or something. Maybe it is. Yeah, I'm really curious. As far as I know, it's the only one I've seen, but I was going towards where you do one of the quests for the companion quest line. And there were some creatures there that I've never seen before, so they looked... I'm pretty sure we all got one-shotted as well, so yeah. These guys look like trouble. Look at the trees, isn't it incredible? Like, look at this rock. I mean, yeah, I know, I know it's a rock, but I mean, this game just looks absolutely incredible. And I would definitely recommend, I mean, unless you are really, really good at modding, you know, maybe leave it to the professionals, you know. I thought they were going to attack us, but they didn't. So, you know, that's cool. And one of the big mods in this game is the is it the dragon something or other? Quests, House of Horrors, Book of Wonders, Herodrum. But yeah, there's like a big quest mod in here. In Solitude, there's this big sort of like museum. I think it's probably called Dragonborn Museum. And you just collect things whilst going around the game to put into the museum. So it's kind of a variation of what you do normally when you play Skyrim or Fallout 4 anyway. You have a house and you display the things that you've come across, like, you know, some of the unique Daedric artifacts and weapons and things like that. It's kind of an extension of that, but from what I can understand, it's so much bigger. Like, it seems insane. Like, probably adds hours and hours of extra gameplay whilst you just go all over Skyrim, which isn't small. Just looking for things. Excuse you, Sophie. Why do you... I wonder if it's something
Why
to
must there
do...
always be incest inside temples? It really
Incense.
does make me feel a little sick. Did I say incest? I meant
Yes, you did.
incest.
You always
It's not
say it
really does
wrong.
anyone else.
I do like it when she sings songs wrong as well. It's pretty good. And she gets drunk. And sometimes, which is why we're probably not going to go into the city, sometimes she just takes her clothes off for just no reason. I mean, I met her with no clothes on, and yeah. But, you know, that's Sophia. That's just what she likes to do, and hey, no judgment. Although I would have thought it would have been a bit dangerous back in these times to, just be, naked. Also, this is the anniversary edition of Skyrim as well. So some of the mod lists you would have to disable if you've bought into, well, not even if you've bought into it, because I think they gave everybody like three different pieces of DLC for the anniversary edition. But you would have to disable it and go back to just having like Skyrim SE for some of the mod lists to work. But this one, luckily, incorporates all. I bought the anniversary edition. I said that I wasn't going to, and then I was like, well, okay. I'm horrible at modding. Like, I try really hard, but I go into Nexus mod. I go onto the Nexus mod page, and I'm like a kid in a candy shop. I'm just like, oh my god, that I want that mod, and I want that mod, and I want that mod, and yeah, it and after about like 30 mods, probably not even that often or not, the game's just falling over, or like it works for about a few quests, and then it just starts. You start seeing things, and you're like, yeah, I don't think that's supposed to. I don't think that's supposed to do that. Yeah. So if you can, I would download Waba Jack, and have somebody like Lucentia Black, I Am Me, that there are other mod authors as well, and have them, they create mod lists, that work properly for the most part. I mean, I do feel like they're always running up against it, because I feel like Skyrim and Fallout 4, just because of the way these games are made, the games have problems even before you start modding them. I mean, Bethesda are known for buggy games.
So you can enchant stuff, huh? I bet I could enchant your sword. What? I spent some time at the College of Winterhold, but come to think of it, that was a disaster, so maybe not.
Maybe not. Also, which sword are you talking about? Just, just so as we're clear. But yeah, I think you should. Now, is Waba Jack perfect? Yes, no. It has days where it works pretty well, and it depends what you're. With Nexus mods, it tends to work pretty well. With Lover's Lab, I don't know if the problem is Lover's Lab, or the problem lies between it and Waba Jack, but it's. So sometimes you can have mods fail just repeatedly, or you can't find the mod that you want, that the mod author is pointing Waba Jack to. So yeah, it's more effort, but then, like I said, to be honest, if you don't know a lot about modding, and modding is quite hard, because it's often the little things that you don't know. Like, okay, so we have this mod, and we have this mod. As far as we know, these two mods are fine. This one's fine on its own. That one's fine on its own. When you introduce them together, maybe there might be a problem. It might not even be a problem that anybody is aware of. Or you have it where these two mods are running, fine. Then you add another mod.
Friends bring light. This is for you. Thank you for your friendship.
Oh wow! I got some gifts. So yeah, your followers will give you gifts as well, which is quite nice. Stutter there again, sadly. I really would like to get this onto an SSD. I wonder if when I get one, whether I can just copy the whole thing and just move it. Maybe? I would have to read up on that. But look how good the game looks. I can't. When modding is done well, i.e. not by me, not by me at all. I've broken Skyrim so many times where I've just like, yeah, I want this mod and I want this mod and I want this mod, and after a while you can see the cracks appearing. It's like, yeah, maybe I shouldn't have added all those mods. And the idea is you're supposed to add one, play for a while, see how it runs,
tell you about the time
then
I
add
nearly
another
made
one.
2 people die without even touching them? I didn't feel like wearing clothes that day.
Yeah.
One guy nearly choked to death on a piece of bread when he saw me, and the other fell over a bridge and nearly drowned.
Yeah. I've heard that a few times, Sophie. But when you're out in the wilds, like, I just feel like that chatter. I mean, unfortunately, some of them will talk with each other and have like little dialogue and conversations in the background, but some of these ones don't. I'm guessing they're not quite compatible, which is a bit of a shame. So yeah. Look at this wall. I mean, that just looks pretty good. The old cabbages as well. I think I've done Way of the Voice. Have I done Way of the Voice? I can't remember. Can't remember what I've done. So here's your mod configuration. So these are all the mods in there. Yeah. But I try not to mess about with them if I don't have to, because I just feel like you start fiddling with some of that stuff. It's like, you can have problems, and I have had problems, which is why I tend to leave them alone now, if I can help it. Unless I've got problems. But then you can always go to the Discord and ask for help. They're some of the most patient people I've ever come across. Look at that fire. I mean, that looks great to me. I don't know how it comes across on camera, but I mean, to me, it looks really good. Oh look, little baby skeevers. So these ones won't hurt you, but obviously the adult ones will attack you. But these ones just they're just a bit like kind of rats or mice, really. Look how lush this all looks, though. All scenes on pause. Voyeur's ring not equipped. Oh yeah, I took that off. So you have 2 slots for rings, I think. As far as I know, I don't think you can have 3 rings, which has never really made much sense to me, even with the original game. It's like, well, you've got 10 fingers. You could probably have at least 3 rings on each hand, like. But I'm guessing, again, they were thinking of balance, and you could then be, like, really overpowered. But then, you're the Dragonborn. I feel like that's kind of the point. You're supposed to be overpowered. It's like a power fantasy. You're the Dragonborn. You're, But then, that's not everybody's cup of tea, I guess. So, yeah. Balance, okay.
I have been told that I have one of the nicest voices in Skyrim, or even Tamriel for that matter. I must say I am inclined to agree.
Okay, Sophie, and why do you stand so close to me? We're not married, we're not dating, well, ish. Is that a rhino? I'm not going too close to it because I don't know if they'll try to murder you on sight. They probably will, to be fair. There's a lot of things that have been added into the game that want to murder you, and they're quite overpowered as well. I don't know if they're overpowered, but they're very strong, and they will murder you. Particularly if you're level 19. One of the good things is that if we press M and go to the map, So this by default, a lot of it was turned off, even like the towns and stuff, and I really didn't like that, so I just turned a lot of it on, just so as I know kind of where I'm going, which I really like. But again, you can turn it on, you can turn it off. It's down to your preference, like, it doesn't matter. But, where was I going with this? Yeah, so if you go to a map, so look, so Volerand, it will tell you it's level 15 to level 70, so it gives you kind of an indication of what you're gonna find. So if you're going in there and you're level 10, you're not even hitting the minimum level, so you're probably not going to have a good time. Having said that, in this game, even before, yeah, there was modding, like you could just get murdered by the weirdest of things. I remember once I took down one of the saber cats. Took down this saber cat. I was low on health, but not that badly, because I mean it's a saber tooth, and I was fighting it, so I was down on health. And then for some reason, this goat, I think it was a goat, it just attacked me and murdered me, like one hit. And I was just kind of like, what? And I know from like YouTube and that, like I've heard like a lot of similar stories of sometimes where the balancing just kind of goes wrong. So when I started the game, it has Live Another Life built into it. Sorry. So I decided that I wanted, like, for me, I like the Dragonborn story, and I like starting out from there, but I didn't want to do the carts thing. I didn't want to do that exactly, you know, travelling on the cart and nearly getting your head chopped off and that. So I chose something similar to it, but not quite. So I started off here. I picked, I was, you know, I was in a shipwreck. I was over here somewhere, I think. Yeah, I think I was over here somewhere. And then I made my way here, and I was going to go to Solitude. There it is, Dragonborn Gallery. That's what it's called. So it's basically a place where you can collect things from around the world, and you take them back there and have them displayed. I was going to go over there, but this area is just full of things that will just murder you. Because, you know, like, you're level 1. I mean, here you've got 10 to 60. And you've got stuff wandering around as well. That obviously there's stuff that in between these markers. I mean, this one's like 30 plus. Like, yeah, and you've got stuff in between here that wants to murder you, and you're like level 1. So I ran, just basically. I think I died quite a few times and had to reload. I would also say just save a lot. So I made my way to, I think this is Dawnstar. Yeah, I made my way to Dawnstar, and then from there I got a carriage to Whiterun, and then I started doing some of the quests around Whiterun, and now I'm slowly starting to sort of try and branch out a bit. See, that one was level 5 to 40. So in this area, I think, which is kind of the starting area for the game anyway. You know, these quests will kind of be, you know, more. I think it actually says it on Licentia's on the pages that you get that you need to read. I think it says, like, just start off in Whiterun and just do some quests there until you feel you're ready to branch out, because otherwise you're gonna get murdered. I think it was somewhere over here near Dustman's Khan. I went over there, and there was just some creatures over there, and I think we got murdered. Like, instead of running away, which would have been the better idea, my companions decided to fight. I was like, well, I can't really leave them, so I started fighting, and then we all died because, you know. So yeah, over there there's some pretty tough stuff. So maybe don't go over there. But yeah, this area's, you know, designed to, you know, to be a little bit more. A little bit easier until you start racking up levels. So yeah. So yeah, this is just what I wanted to show you, and you know how good games can look if, you know, if done properly. And if you're good at modding, then, you know, obviously this is not for you. But for a lot of us who, you know, would like to be better, but just things happen to, or, you know, you're absolutely new to it, or you just don't want to bother with downloading mods, checking mods, because it is hard and it is a lot of work. And the problem I found with modding was you spend more time modding than actually playing, and it's at that point it's like, is modding the game? Which, yeah, I guess it kind of is. So I went down this route when I found out about Waba Jack of, let me just download a mod list, and then I can just play the game and, you know, and have a good time. Sophie, seriously, stop getting so close to me. It's creepy. The only thing I did do, and you can add mods to the mod list, but be very, very careful when you do it, and maybe ask the mod author first, in case they're like, yeah, I wouldn't put that in because it has problems with this mod, or it breaks that mod, or they just give you some good advice, like, you know, make sure you read up on it. But I asked the mod author. Actually, I don't think it was Licentia that I asked. I think it was another mod. I think it was another Skyrim, because I tried a couple of other Skyrim mods before this one. Like I said, the Taravin, the VR
apparently alchemists eat ingredients to learn how to make potions. That doesn't sound very pleasant to me.
The Taravin mod list. I really wanted that to work. I really wanted to play that. But yeah, I just couldn't run it. Well, I could run it if I stripped out a lot of the textures out of it. And I ran the headset at like its absolute lowest. And it just didn't look very good, and it just wasn't a pleasant experience. So after about 3 weeks of fiddling with it and just reading YouTube videos and on how to improve, you know, VR fidelity and this and that, I went into forums and I was asking people questions. I did that for about 3 weeks, and like I just came to the conclusion, like, okay, this is not working. So then I think I had this one running as well. But I really wanted, like, the dream was to have a modded VR Skyrim. I tried a couple of others as well, and again they were just pretty tough. VR is quite tough to run, and modded, you're probably looking at some of the really powerful cards, like, you know, 4080s, 4090s, and as I've said, for me personally, that's just not something I want. So I did download this castle, just because in this particular mod list, there weren't really a lot of places I felt, a lot of the homes even in Anniversary Edition, and a lot of the games that are in the base Skyrim, I never really liked. You're the Dragonborn. Shouldn't you have a castle? Like, and that's just something that's not really in Skyrim. Even the Anniversary Edition didn't really add anything like that. So yeah, so I added this one in for myself, and generally I think it's okay. It hasn't broke anything yet. I was concerned about adding just like just one. It's just one mod, but yeah, we shall see what happens. I don't know that it's implemented into the world quite right, but I mean, hey, it's good enough, you know. It's fine. But yeah, so this is the video.
People of Skyrim have very dirty minds. I say the most innocent of things, and they all get the wrong idea. I suppose you're a bit like that as well.
Yeah, I suppose I am. I was going to try and argue with that, but no. I suppose I am, but yeah. So yeah, so I just wanted to show you this game, and to give some love to the mod authors that are creating these absolute just fantastic mod lists. And I mean, like, as you saw, like, you know, these are a lot of mods. Like, you know, this is a lot. And for most people to even get half of this running and working like well, it's quite hard for some people, not everybody. So yeah, I wanted to give out some love. And I'm going to be playing this, like, you know, off camera, because I do love Skyrim. So I'm probably going to be playing this, and I'm going to be playing Fallout 4. I'm making a video for that as well. That's a modded version from I Am Me. This one's the Sentia Black, but they share a Discord as well. So I don't know if they're friends. I'm guessing they are. So yeah, so that's quite nice as well. And I just wanted to show their handiwork off, because yeah, this takes a lot of work, and it must take a lot of hours as well. And then of course they run a Discord. If you have any problems, they're very patient. Like, I mean, just yeah, like. They have the patience of saints, but do try and read everything as much as possible. Read it and then read it again. I mean, I like to think that I do try and read, you know, as much as possible and try and follow each step. But I still missed certain things. This one wasn't as bad to download. But the Fallout 4 one, that took me about 3 days. And some of that was on me. Some of that was Waba Jack and Lover's Lab just weren't playing nicely. So yeah, which can happen. And also there was a thing with Mega server as well. I ended up actually signing up to that for 30 days, just because. Yeah, it was just a whole thing. But I think a lot of that was me, and I could have.
That seems to be very popular.
I could have done better.
Don't you think? It's all people ever seem to eat.
Wow, she never shuts up. I may go into her settings and maybe just tone it down a little bit. I don't get me wrong. I like the commentary, but obviously there are only so many lines, and I think maybe the interval of when they're spoken is not quite there. So I might have a play with that. But yeah, I just wanted to show you this and how beautiful Skyrim looks when it's properly modded by, you know, just like absolute geniuses, in my opinion. I think this looks incredible, and at night it looks really nice as well, and the reflections and textures, yeah, it just looks I think it just looks absolutely amazing. So that's the video, guys. I hope you liked this one. Obviously, again, I'm not really going to do a playthrough of Skyrim. I don't know. I don't know whether that's something I want to do. There are so many good quality YouTube videos on people playing Skyrim, either returning and playing Skyrim, or like first time playthroughs, and they're absolutely incredible. I don't feel I need to touch upon this subject. This will always be one of my very favourite games. The immersion and the detail, yeah, it's always going to be one of my favourites. But whether you need another video on Skyrim, I don't know that you do. But if you do, if that is something that you want, you know, feel free to comment. I'm always open to you know, trying new things, doing new things. I try to touch as many different types of games as possible, even if I don't necessarily play them. I just want people to see. I just want people to see these incredible worlds that these artists create for us to play in. Yeah, and that's really my only goal. But if you do want to see me play, I don't know that I could play this one because, as I said, it's a not safe for work mod list, which just won't fly with YouTube until they decide to make, you know, an adult area of YouTube where people can just be themselves and play the games that they want to play, and you know. But until then, no, it's just not possible to play this particular version. But if you wanted me to play some ordinary Skyrim, maybe, or maybe download a, you know, safe for work or safe for YouTube mod list, yeah, I would think about that. So yeah, that's it for now. I still feel like one of the things that they could have done was make these games a bit easier to tab out of. I mean, obviously, when these games were made, tabbing out of games wasn't really a thing. So yeah, it is what it is. So until the next video, I'm gonna start doing the Fallout 4 one. Yeah, I think that one's gonna be a little bit more difficult than this one. But yeah, until the next video, I hope you're all doing well. Stay safe. Apparently COVID is trying to raise its ugly head again. So yeah, be careful. And I shall see you on the next video. Bye for now.